Welcome to Smart Cities Week 2015. I'm Carol Stimmel. I'm in the studio today with Charbel Aoun of Enevo. He's the Chief Sales and Strategy Officer of the company. And I'm really happy to be talking to you today. We talk a lot in Smart Cities discussions about, ICT, sensor deployment, all of those things, but very, very rarely do we tackle the question of waste. You've been around a long time working on smart cities, and you've decided to put your years of skills and talent to waste management in the context of smart cities. Can you tell me a little bit about why, how you got there, and what the company's doing under your vision?
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy to be here too. Listen, for the 9 years, I have learned enormously, and as a conclusion of my learning, I went to a conclusion where the topic is too complex. When you go to cities to talk on a transversal level across all domains and you want to break the silos and whatnot, cities are not ready to embrace the technology push. However, what they're ready to do is take a verticalized approach to acute problems where there is an evidence there is a solution, and remember, evidence is a key word.
Right.
Right business model, right partnership, right collaboration, and they're willing to try. And if they try and they have a proof and evidence, they scale. I'm passionate about technology and the role of technology in delivering efficiency and effectiveness and transforming the world of cities as we know it, because we live everything in our life embracing the value of technology, yet in cities we're not. So I came to the conclusion, you know what? Smart city is about smart people, smart governance, and smart technology. If you put them together, they will do the smart thing,
right,
which makes a smart city automatically. So what are the acute problems? Energy is one, transportation is one, healthcare is one, waste is one.
Right.
You cannot avoid the fact that waste is a big issue. And when I talk to cities during my 9 years, that topic comes up. And this is the least modernized segment or business. So I decided to go in one of those segments, because in those places, with the right business model, the right solution, you can make impact straight away.
Right.
This is where I am.
Well, and you said something really interesting, which is converging technology, yes, but governance, and looking at the human problems in the city. Also, being very practical and tactical and thinking about how to fund these things, make them affordable, towards forward progress. So, how does your solution work? How does it take those elements and combine them into solving a problem, a real problem?
So when you look at the world of cities, you have two groups of population, of users. You have the people in charge of delivering the service, we call them the operational sides, and you have the consumer of the service, usually the citizen, the business, the visitors of the city. In the management or in the leadership of a city, they have to manage both. One side is about efficiency, saving, optimization of resources, freeing resources to do other things. The other side is about better life, more environment, happier, less complaint. Basically, when you look at those two sides, and as a city leader, they need to create a balance between where do they put their energy, here or there, right? Now, the easy side on the operation is you do ABC, you save XYZ. Mm-hmm. It's straightforward conversation. But when you talk about, and it's a financeable, there's an ROI, return on investment business case. When you talk about financing sustainability and a better life and a happier citizen or a customer, it's not a straightforward conversation. So how do you bring the two together? Now, in our solution, what we've done is we started from the bottom up. We have a technology, we have a great engineers, and the founder is a guy with a great vision, our CEO, Frederick, with a great engineer around him. They came with a solution, with a technology that can do certain function. Then what they have done right, and this is the secret sauce to me, as a person who was looking at the company, they went straight to subject matter experts, to the cities, and they said, we came with this. Where do we go from here with you? And it was like someone holding a mirror in your face and telling you, fix that, fix this, and they were doing it.
Right.
So the product was ground root up, built to fulfill the operational user.
Right.
Then, the same way, we went now into, okay, how do we take it? Let's go to the second category of user. What do they want in the waste? Now, first is about reduction of collection, about optimization of route, is about et cetera, et cetera. We've done that with the operation people. Now we move to the decision maker. What do you want? About environment. How do we reduce the customer complaints better? How do we make an impact on the environment? How does a truck have an impact on CO2 emission, on greenhouse gas emission, and H, et cetera, et cetera? And we started developing this. Now we have a product that is fulfilling two needs. As you read probably, our containers now are tweeting. What do we do with that? This is the next step, is how do we take that value and engage the community? Unfortunately, as you said, the waste topic is not sexy enough. People don't like to talk about waste. You pick up the bag in front of my door, it disappears. I don't know where it's going. I don't need to know where it's going. But it's going one of three places: landfill, incineration, or energy production, recycling. It's going one of those three places. Apparently in the US, 55% goes to landfill, 33% goes to recycling, and 12% to energy generation, incineration. It's going somewhere. As the quantity of waste is doubling because our per capita is going higher, we tend to produce double the lowest per capita. Cities produce double than rural environment. We gotta transport more and more. It's unsustainable.
Right. Well, and you're talking a lot about the process and the relationship between waste and community, right? But every point along this improved process that you're talking about is data. And one of the things that I've found very interesting about Enevo and your solution is your fairly extensive use of all kinds of data, unstructured, structured data, and now you're talking about tweeting bins, right? So that's just more data, which I assume you're bringing back in to improve analytics for the cities predictively, prescriptively. Tell us a little bit about what data analytics in a waste management world looks like for Enevo.
Thank you for that question. Let's start from the basics. In the world of managing operation, there are two words: sensing and actuating. Sensing in the old day used to be an inspector with a pen and paper writing a report, and then somebody processing the report and taking an action to...
Right.
Now we moved into a sensor inside a container. In our case, almost any kind of container that is sensing. The evolution of the sensor will keep going. Today, it shows the sensor to do the function our customer said they want. Reading the fill level, the temperature, etc. And they wanted low maintenance, so it can live up to 10 years. It's reading data every hour or 2 hours and uploading it to the cloud somewhere. Now, when this data goes, the basic thing is telling us the fill level at that moment, timestamp. But what we're doing actually, this is the core business what we do, we're running analytics engine on this data, and we're achieving 98% accuracy, and we can predict the container fill 7 days, 15 days, 30 days ahead of time. Now, what do you do with that? Now, where you start it's fun. Now it's fun and of value. You start analyzing this on a map where you have thousands have been distributed in the city. You don't need to go drive blindly anymore.
Right.
You have fleet management, workforce scheduling, dynamic routing, smart planning, and so on and so forth. Now I look at it, I say, I want to collect anything that is 80%. How does it get smarter? That bridge has a limitation of how much ton truck can pass on it. That tunnel has a height limitation. That route is a one-way direction. Now you put all this in the system and you run an analytic engine and you start talking about, now today, I want to produce 600 ton of recycling because my recycling processing center, sorting center is demanding that quantity. I can press a button and I get it. Now I want to reduce my collection only to the 80%. Whatever the criteria, you're able to do it now, and you're not driving what we call the Milky Way, which is blindly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. What we are seeing amazing, and this is the fun, is the lowest end, 40% reduction in collection, the highest end, 87%, 90% almost, reduction in collection.
There's a lot being met here. Yeah. So this is, when we first started discussing waste, I didn't really understand till you described the scope of the problem and how integration, which we talk a lot about in regards to smart cities technology integration, but now we've taken the waste stream, the process of the waste stream, and integrate it with all kinds of things. The people who are throwing things out, the pace at what they're throwing it out, the needs for where the waste may be going. through generations. So I want to thank Charbel for joining us in the Smart Cities Week studio here and talking about waste, which is Enevo has brought a pretty intriguing and smart solution to dealing with this everyday issue that I don't think about enough, but I'm going to think about it now.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for
Yeah,
inviting
thank you
me.
so much.